5 runners at 100 to 1 or more, and they include numbers 1 and 2. And down at the bottom of the page, there are a couple of runners at even bigger odds. So there's one, number 15, Asatam, at $243 with a win and $51 the place.
Deserves to be though, Keith. Hasn't beaten a runner home, or didn't beat a runner home first up at Echuca. Beaten 14 lengths at 40 to 1, and I dare to say this is a much tougher race.
Okay, watch for the favourite, number 7, Shatterdan. Its colours are lime, purple seams and cap from barrier 5. Danny Nikolic will ride Shatterdan, who is trained at Ballarat by Ron Gill. And it's the odds-on favourite. No secret about that. In the first of a 9-race card at Bendigo, and he's our caller from Sport 927, local boy, Brian Blackmore.
The light blinking away on the stalls. They're racing this time. They've gone away in a good line. Shatterdan came out okay. Dark Bunny and Asatam on the inside. Deeper out, Baringa Chimes and Little Rory have gone away smartly with Berwyn Lady. Never Blushes up handy as they settle behind those runners. Then Lavender and Lace as they run down the side. Meter as well back in the field. Last of all is Cap the Moon and Scented Quill well back also as they head down towards the 700 metre mark. Little Rory and Baringa Chimes by a length and Never Blush. Shatterdan, Lavender and Lace on the inside. Dark Bunny another length into Dominant Lady. Scented Quill. Till We Dance further back. Berwyn Lady well back out of it was a metre with Asatam dropping out Thelema, and Cap the Moon is last. 450 out on the turn. Baringa Chimes took the lead from Little Rory. Lavender and Lace and Never Blush. Shatterdan is just in behind those runners and hooking to the outside from Dominant Lady, and further back then Little Rory making some ground running to the 200. It's Baringa Chimes in front here of Lavender and Lace. Shatterdan over on the outside is starting to stretch out now with Never Blush and Dominant Lady. Shatterdan going up on the outside to hit the lead with 100 metres left to go, and the good thing for the day looked home. Lavender and Lace, Dominant Lady battling on well, but too good for them is Shatterdan. Shatterdan comes away 2 1/4 lengths on the line to Dominant Lady. Lavender and Lace third, then Dark Bunny behind it. A metre made ground. Baringa Chimes, Scented Quill, Never Blush, then Berwyn Lady further back Till We Dance. At the head of the others then as they come back, interview was Little Rory, who made a bit of a run at them in the straight. Asatam was at the tail of the field as the others just disappear out of our view, and Cap the Moon was well back also.
Across the line, 7-11-5. The good thing of the day, home in the first, Shatterdan. Well, I don't know whether you wanted to be on her at odds on about 200 metres out, but 100 metres out you did. Shatterdan, watch for the line with the purple seams and cap. Danny Nikolic winds her up. That's Baringa Chimes, number 1 in front, giving a ton of cheek at odds of better than 100 to 1. We coincidentally spoke about that before the race, but he's the favourite, quickly swallowing up the
Ponfield Road, Tumble Home, Scuba Diver, and there's another one working forward in that bunch also as they settle. Behind them, Stargrazer on the inside, Pirateer, Young Polly. Gee, they're tightly packed. Over on the outside, Very Deep Star of Masqué with Lord Leo as they sort themselves out heading to the 1,000 metre mark, and Bulldozer and Fleet Feet have taken the lead. Over on the outside of those is Gold Deputy caught deep and continuing to work forward as they work off the back to join the lead. Star of Masqué makes a line of 800 metres out. Then comes Ponfield Road, Lord High Admiral, Paint the Scene on the inside, a length of Horseplay. Back with it, Stargrazer wide from in the centre of those, Tumble Home, Young Polly on the inside. Well back, Pirateer, Lord Leo and 2 to Scuba Diver. 600 metres out and Gold Deputy took the lead, but he had to work to get there. Outside him, Star of Masqué, Bulldozer and Fleet Feet hard ridden. Paint the Scene coming away from the rails, running on. And then Ponfield Road, and further back deep around them comes Lord Leo from Horseplay. In the straight, 350 out, Gold Deputy the leader. Over on the outside, Fleet Feet coming with Star of Masqué. Bulldozer getting a run nearer the inside. Paint the Scene trying to get through in the centre, and Lord Leo down the outside with Stargrazer. Stargrazer at the 200 metre mark, and Paint the Scene now getting through in the centre. Have gone past Gold Deputy, then Lord Leo and Young Polly from a long way back, but Stargrazer broke away near home. Pirateer running on late, might just miss a place, but Stargrazer gets in. A length and a half to Paint the Scene, Young Polly, and then came Pirateer, Tumble Home, behind them Lord Leo, then Fleet Feet, Bulldozer, Scuba Diver, as they disappear from our view. Further back, Ponfield Road. With it then comes Star of Masqué. Well back was Bio Lad. Last in was Horseplay, and just in front of those, Lord High Admiral.
Well, there's the John Bell and Ross Flegeltorp selection. Getting home, Stargrazer, Eddie Cassar. Big win by number 12. It'll pay 6.80 and 3 even. Look for the Navy.
I think he's got a big class edge on these horses. Now, the bookies did take some risk with him. When I say risks, they opened him up in black and white at flip of the coin. They pushed him out to around the $2.25 mark, Then he came in another roll of the board to around the 10 to 9, and they've been chopping and changing from that. They keep putting him out and the punters keep stepping in. So, look, when he goes to the post, he's going to be black and white figures, so a little bit of under the odds on the tote, but he appears to have these covered for mine. Just to run through the betting here, number 3, Drakass, was opened up riding commission. He's had the 10 jumps runs for a win, which was last start at Terang, where he won quite comprehensively. He's at 1.5 times the each way at the moment, and the second pick at that quote. Spatram's got right out in the odds. He opened up 5 times the each way and has drifted a further 5 points. Number 5, Charge Out. He opened up equal second pick, but he's gone for a 3-point drift and now is at the double each way quote. Wild Trista's not fancied. Number 7, Mould, only had 2 jumps runs, and they've been his last 2 starts, for a third at Avoca and a second at Terang. He's out to 4 times the each way. Number 8, Baresi, is out to 3 times the each way, as is number 9, Dar Deviat. He's making his jumps debut today. He's been racing quite well on the flat, so look for him to possibly figure in the finish. Eric Musgrove, Ricky Morn, they had a terrific season last season. They've already kicked off this season in terrific fashion. He really shapes as an ideal type, being by Dahar. He's one paced, providing he can jump, and I'm sure Eric's put a lot of work into this horse. Look for him to be in the finish. Moving down to number 10, Houdini Rose, who won at the Picnics last Saturday. Opened up around a $15 chance, has drifted a full point. Number 11, Mars Roy. It is riding commission. It's had 2 starts over the jumps at its last 2 runs, but you'd expect it to improve. Mars Roy's out to 2 times the each way, and number 12, Yo-Yo Joe, not really fancied. But I thought number 1, I'm Looking Good, would be far too good for these. The Dangers, number 9, Dar Deviat, and number 11, Mars Roy.
Okay, well, there's a scene as the hurdlers move in. Odds on the tote, the top weight, I'm Looking Good. Form line is excellent. 2 runs in Victoria. Well, we've been over that ground for seconds at Moonee Valley and in the Cup hurdle at Leamington. Looks a class above them, Ross. Just reading your racebook comments, I'm Looking Good should prove too strong.
Well, he really should, Keith, but there are a couple of good stables represented here in Jim Houlihan and Eric Musgrove, and they'll give him some sort of opposition, but at $1.80, I think that's about the right price on course in comparison. John said that they keep turning out, the bookmakers, and the punters keep stepping in, so I think $1.80 would be about its right price up there at Bendigo, and barring accidents, he really should be too good.
It's number 8 and number 9 there, Deviat, moving in. This is its first jumping start, trained by Eric Musgrove. It's an $18 job on the tote. 5 looks fit. Charge Out has some form to recommend. A Colac maiden hurdle winner, then ran at Morphettville when favourite last start. It might be worth consideration for your Cornellas. Number 11 just about completes a line. It has. They're set to go.
Away they go. And I'm Looking Good on the inside, came out cleanly with Baresi, Wild Trista. Mars Roy over on the outside and going up in the centre of those, then Houdini Robe. Molders over on the inside as they jump the first, and Baresi takes the lead here. From I'm Looking Good, snagging back on the inside of Wild Trista, out deep Dar Deviat, and in the centre Houdini Robe. Very wide is Mars Roy as they work to the side of the track, 1.5 lengths to Spatram Drakass. Then Mould, Yo-Yo Joe, and 2.5 Charge Out last of all. On the 800-metre marker the first time round, and Delita Baresi by 2 lengths to I'm Looking Good. A length away third is Houdini Robe on the inside of Mars Roy as they hop over the next. A length to Drakass, and around it then Dar Deviat, who's deep when the centre Wild Trista. 2 lengths to the grey Spatram, back behind it Yo-Yo Joe, Mould, and last of all is Charge Out. Around the turn on the first lane, and the leader as they race past the 400-metre mark with 2 jumps in the lane to come up. It's Baresi in front. I'm Looking Good coming away from behind it to sit outside to have a look at these jumps in the straight. A length away Houdini Road, Drakass on the inside of Wild Trista. Mars Roy is 3 deep around those. A length further back then Spatram. With it was Yo-Yo Joe. Second last is Mould, and 2 lengths last of all is Charge Out. Here's the jump near the winning post. It'll be the last jump next time round, and Baresi held together by 2 lengths to I'm Looking Good. Third is Houdini Robe. A length away then to Dar Deviat on the inside, a half away Mars Roy. A length further back then to Wild Trista, Drakass on the inside, followed by Yo-Yo Joe. Then Spatram, a length and a half to Mould on the inside of Charge Out as they leave the straight. going towards the 1700, and the next jump coming up at about 100 metres, and it's Baresi. The pace is only fair, leading a length and a half to I'm Looking Good. Third placing Houdini Robers. Baresi increases its lead now. Fourth placing Dar Deviat, slipping up on the inside there is Mars Roy from Wild Trista. A length further back then Dracass on the outside of it. Starting to make ground is Yo-Yo Joe, going a long way from home. Then Mould over on the inside. Charge Out is still at the tail of the field as they work along the back almost where they started from, and I'm Looking Good has gone up the pressure. Baresi in the lead. They jumped it together by 2 lengths to Dar Deviat, 2.5 Houdini Robe, losing ground, joined by Wild Trista. Mars Roy is hard at it. They sprinted up very quickly there from Yo-Yo Joe. Then Mould over on the inside from Dracass, and further back Charge Out as they work off the back. Spatrum back with those inside the 900 metre mark. And here the leader is Baresi, got away again by 2.5 to I'm Looking Good. Third placing Dar Deviat. Then Mars Roy making a little bit of ground under extreme pressure. Next Wild Trista. This leader's taken off here, Baresi, and got a good break as they come towards the turn. Further back then was Dracass, followed by Mould. Houdini Robe gone, Spatrum, Yo-Yo Joe and Charge Out. Inside the 500 metre mark, around the turn they come, and Baresi by 2.5 to I'm Looking Good and Dar Deviat. Then Mars Roy battling away, followed by Wild Trista, and further back Mould in the straight. They've got 2 more to get over, and Baresi clear. I'm Looking Good is whacking away, and Mars Roy now on the outside starting to make his run. Baresi comes to the second last. He crashed through it from I'm Looking Good and Mars Roy, then Dar Deviat. Mars Roy after this leader Baresi, and I'm Looking Good goes up on the inside. I think he's run out of room there. Mars Roy the outside took the lead near home. He got crowded out. I'm Looking Good. Mars Roy broke away, and Mars Roy is coming away from Baresi, and I'm Looking Good. Mars Roy by 3 lengths. Baresi second, I'm Looking Good third. Fourth Charge Out who made ground, then Wild Trista behind it. Houdini Robe, Dar Deviat, Spatrum, Mould, Yo-Yo Joe and Dracass has run last.
Well, boil over. 11, 8 and 1. 11 Mars Roy, Adrian Garraway and Jim Houlihan. How do you beat them? Let's watch this in the pink with the brown stripes and the white cap. That's the winner. Gee, the favourite was disappointing. I don't know whether jockey Kim Truitt chose the right option of going back to the rail. I can appreciate that I'm Looking Good was only whacking away. But when he went back to the rail, well, there wasn't a lot of room and he wasn't given any, and they weren't entitled to give him any. So he's the coming up to the last, and that's Mars Roy having only his third jumping start, drawing away from number 8, Baresi. It's run on well, it'll pay 5 even the place, and the favourite who got into $1.70 the win and will pay $1.20 the place, a disappointing third. It was struggling a long way from home. I don't want to be critical of the ride, Ross, but it wasn't a ride of confidence, was it?
No, about 900 metres from home, Keith, Kim Truitt gave I'm Looking Good a little slap around the rump then, and he didn't really respond. He just whacked away, and it's easy in hindsight, I know, but he was up to 68 kilos, and here it is now. This is about 900 metres from home, and here he is. Kim Truitt gives him one round the rump to put his mind on the job, and he really is under pressure there, isn't he? He's just whacking away, as you mentioned. And although Kim may have chosen the wrong option in the straight going back to the fence, I'm pretty sure he was beaten at the time, and at best he could have got into second place. But
yes, win Mars Roy, $20. Close to a start for the 4th at Bendigo on Cup Day. So there's a little bit of non-action there at Bendigo as one or two of the runners there are still walking around. And we can see one of the stragglers moving up. It's the favourite, Danzig's Pleasure, and number 10, Lady Undercharge, goes in. We're only waiting on Coercive, I think, now, and perhaps now, with number 11, Home Fires Burning, going in, the line will be complete when out of sight. But
Cool Prince.
When Cool Prince moves up. Okay, Cool Prince a little reluctant to go in the stall. And he goes in now for Andrew Payne. So the line is set, close for a start.
There's 4. Next is the big one. Ready. Stand well. Racing now. Cool Prince may have begun a trifle slowly. Our Catalina, one of the first out with Coercive and Tony near the inside. My Lady Lou. Cousins Lane, Zoroastrian behind those runners, dropping back towards the tail of the field is Home Fires Burning and Cool Prince just in front of it. Danzig's Pleasure working up to be about fourth as they run down the hill. And here at the 700 metre mark, it's Tony just in front of My Lady Lou, Danzig's Pleasure, and our Catalina a length further back, then Super Control. With it, Coercive. There's another one over on the outside of those as they corner back along the inside. Cousins Lane with Cool Prince, Zoroastrian. Then Lady Undercharge and Home Fires Burning as they come around the turn. The other one out deep was Rule the Angels. Around the corner they come, and our Catalina, the grey over on the outside, goes up to join Rule the Angels, Tony. Wider out on the track, then Cool Prince. Danzig's Pleasure is under pressure with Coercive, and further back then Cousins Lane and Zoroastrian to the 200 metre mark. Rule the Angels just in front. Cousins Lane going for a run inside Tony. Our Catalina can't go on, but Cool Prince can. Cool Prince down the outside. Cousins Lane bursting through near the inside. Cool Prince in front, and Cool Prince comes away. Cool Prince by a length and a half on the line. To My Lady Lou, tight third between Danzig's Pleasure and Cousins Lane. Then Lady Undercharge, our Catalina, Zoroastrian. With it was Super Control. Further back then, as they come back into view, would have been Coercive. Back with it was Home Fires Burner, who was actually one of the last in, Tony in front of it.
Well, we mentioned before the race the weight drop might help Cool Prince. It did. He was ridden with different tactics today. Little tardy out and settle at the back of the field, and there's Cool Prince storming home. Andrew Payne, well, he's just flicking the whip, really, just one little fly swat there. And
in behind the field, then just behind those down the side would have been Export Measure, followed by Travelot. Then Gold Spirit. Alarock is tracking to the outside when they come off the back, and the leader down on the inside, Seacom about a length in front. Delightful Choice second, Shades of Blue third. They're followed further back in the race now by on the outside going forward is Starkey's Approval. Back behind them Gold Spirit, in front of it Miss Pom Pom. Behind those is Export Measure, a length further back Travelot. Just off midfield is Alarock, followed on the inside of it by Gold Spirit. Well back for Monty, further back Miss Rule, followed by Zabusa, and last of all is in Trio up to the bend, 550 metres to go, and the leader down on the inside, Seacom, when they straighten up. Seacom in front but under pressure from Delightful Choice. Shades of Blue back on the inside now from Export Measure, further back Starkey's Approval. Alarock a fair way back, and a few have gone past it, down to the 300. Shades of Blue hard ridden, got up on the inside now of Seacom there in front of Export Measure, and Travelot into the clear. Alarock coming down the outside, 4 lengths off them from Entrio at the 100 metre mark now, and on the outside getting to the front is Export Measure now from Travelot, and Export Measure's too good. Export Measure beats Travelot. Third home in the race would have been Seacom, then Alarock fourth, followed by Entrio out wide, a pretty good run. Further back then Shades of Blue. Most of the others are swinging out of view behind the field, behind the tower there. Vermonti is on the outside, followed by Miss Rule, Miss Pom Pom. Well back was Gold Spirit. Starkey's Approval, followed by Zabusa, never came into the play, and it's amongst the tail enders pulling up quickly out of view behind the tower.
that's the quaddy ticket. Mine's gone. 5, 4, 6 the numbers. 5 Export Measure, $13.50 the win, $3.30 the place. Second 4 Travelot, a place return of 2 even, and third number 6 Seacom, $8.10.
Horse to beat.
Thanks, John. Gee, we're just discussing here the total investment on the race. $500,000 in the win pool, $300,000 in the place pool. So we're looking at $800,000 bet win and place on this race, and the last dollars pouring in as we're getting very close to start time now for the Bendigo Cup, and the favourite Star Covet at $4.80. That's a smidge over what it is on track at the moment. It's under the each way odds at the moment. The favourite Star Covet, Shane Dye's ride, his first at Bendigo. Looks like Craig Williams giving a calming pat there to his mount, drawn on the inside, Northern Embossing. Getting close for a start now. Our caller for the race from Sport 927, Brian Martin.
And it's Star Covet to come up to barrier number 7, and they'll be set to go. Just Star Covet pulling back. Trained at Hawkesbury. A field of 16 for the feature race for the year here. Just waiting on Star Covet to come forward. Star Covet to come in, and they'll be set to go. My Sartorial in 5. Star Covet goes in. Dyer's ready, and they're set to go. Set in the cup. Lighters on. And attended with Star Covet. Settles. Racing. Jumped in a good line too. One of the first out. Windsor down on the inside with one man out who began well. Just behind those is enough with My Sartorial. Further back behind it, Star Covet, and from the outside, Napier Street, Morning Mail, and I Wonder the middle. Windsor's in front down to the judge towards the first lap, and it's Windsor out by about 2 lengths with moving up on the outside, Voodoo Beat, Napier Street third. 2 further back is I Wonder. Over on the inside of it then came one man out, followed by Morning Mail. My Sartorial further back then Much Ado. Further back in the race then, Enough is Enough, followed by Dark Czar. Star Covet has just drifted back now with Australis Bazaar up on the outside of it. Out of the straight they go towards the 1800, and Windsor's left in the lead in the cup by 3 lengths to Voodoo Beat. 2 further back Napier Street. 3 further back is I Wonder on the outside there of one man out. There followed 2 lengths to My Sartorial on the inside of Morning Mail. 3 wide Morning Mail moving around the outside of the 1600. Further back then came Much Ado. 2 then to Enough is Enough. A Dark Czar on the outside of it. 1.5 Australis Bazaar on the outside of Star Covet. Further back in the race then came Northern Embossing. Down towards the tail is Indy Raj, and over on the inside of it Tennessee Oak and Jogar third last. Down the back in the cup, and the leader is Windsor. Unchallenged in front. Windsor goes down the back of the 1200 metre mark. 2.5 in front from Voodoo Beat. 1 further back Morning Mail now third. Facing the breeze on the outside of Napier Street fourth. 1.5 lengths to I Wonder. There's no speed at the moment from one man out. Then came Much Ado. Over on the inside My Sartorial. Dark Czar 3 out. Star Covered the fence. 1.5 further back. Enough is Enough. Australis Bazaar to the outside. 3 wide. 1.5 lengths Northern Embossing. Then Jogar, Tennessee Oak and Indy Raj last of all. They're having a crack at this leader at the 850 now. It's Windsor just in front. Voodoo Beat going up to have a crack at it. In the middle there and on the outside now Morning Mail. Morning Mail and Voodoo Beat have got a length in front now from Windsor. 2 to I Wonder. Hard-ridden Napier Street the inside of the 600. 2 further back then My Sartorial coming away from the fence. Thompson's got him off the rail now from Much Ado. A fair gap on the race then to Star Covered. He's hard-ridden when they come to the turn. Followed by Northern Embossing and Australis Bazaar's dropped to the tail. Homeward bound now and the leader on the outside. Morning Mail from Voodoo Beat and Windsor. About 2 lengths Napier Street, and here's I Wonder down the middle. My Sartorial and one man out to the outside from Star Covet. Across the track here it's Voodoo Beat, Morning Mail and I Wonder joining them, and My Sartorial. There in the middle now is Napier Street, I Wonder, and My Sartorial from Northern Embossing pushing up in the centre. Napier Street, the boulder hit the front close to home, and Napier Street wins the cup. Napier Street has won from either Northern Embossing or My Sartorial, then I Wonder Jogar, then Morning Mail. Star Cover didn't run it out. Further back in the race then came Voodoo Beat. Well back in the field then, Never a Chance was Dark Czar. One man out, followed by Tennessee Oak. Indy Raj the outside from Much Ado. Windsor pulling up pretty quickly. Enough is towards the tail. Most of the others are swung out of view. Australis Bazaar is well out of it near the tail of the field after the cup, and it's Napier Street.
Well, it's been won by a 33 to 1 chance. Number 13, Napier Street. The saving grace for Quadrella backers is that the winner was bracketed with My Sartorial. Here's Napier Street. This is his 3rd crack at the Cup. Previously, he had finished 5th and 4th. Today, 1st. Michael Carson, great ride. Napier Street, strong galloper. This is start number 61 for the 6-year-old and win number 8. Big performance by Napier Street. In the photo for second are number 6, Northern Embossing. Watch for Northern Embossing in the navy blue with the gold seams. And the other in the photo there is My Sartorial, given every chance by Brent Thompson. Plugged away, but in a driving finish, it was Napier Street. And in the middle there, let's look for this, try and line these up. My Sartorial is going to be prominent in this photo for second, along.
I'd even give this record here today a bit of a tickle up in this race. Set. Journey of 1,000 metres. Starter holding them. Obviously a problem I can't see from here, but they're racing this time. Swan's Paradise away well, Captain Cortez near the inside, Clobo away smartly, deeper out on the track is Namadal Man, Moondran, Sharondan just in behind them, the Crushing Plant as they settle, Nautica drifting back with Hessian, well back early Merry Lad, and last of all is Danavanti. It's Roo County and Namadal Man, the leaders coming down towards the turn from Clobo, Captain Cortez, Moondran, the Crushing Plant over on the inside of Sharondan, then comes Pangary, a break of 2 to Swan's Paradise, Time the Reaper, well back Nautica, Danavanti, and with it there was Hessian over on the outside, Merry Lad, 400 metres out, Roo County on the inside, Clobo, Captain Cortez and Namadal Man, the widest runner, getting through there with the inside as Nautica under the whip, running on from Pangary, the Crushing Plant, hands on heels now shown the whip for Sharondan, 200 metres out, Clobo on the outside has gone to the lead from Captain Cortez, Nautica running up behind them, going for a split, wider out is the Crushing Plant takes the lead, Nautica getting through near the inside, but the Crushing Plant in front, and the Crushing Plant wins by 3 parts of a length, reasonably pretty soft on the line from Nautica and Clobo. Hessian flew, Captain Cortez, Sharondan, Namadal Man and Pangary as they disappear from our view. Further back then would have been Sharondan, Swan's Paradise, Danavanti. Back with it was Merry Lad, and over on the inside near the tail, Roo County with Time the Reaper and Moondran.
Oh, did they know what they were doing here? The Crushing Plant is going to return $2.70. It wasn't even favourite at 15 minutes of betting time remaining. Watch the Crushing Plant, green, white sash stripe. Favourite is number 1, Reaper Balm, who's had 45 starts, 11 wins and 14 placings. To earn $175,000, trained on the track by Rod Simons. So it's one of the top chances there. Greg Childs rides Reaper Balm. He was aboard Reaper Balm when he dared heated with Shystad in the Seymour Cup, and Damien Oliver rode Reaper Balm when beaten in a photo finish by Raging Force at Flemington during the carnival. That was Brackenbury going up to his wide alley, and there's Reaper Balm going into his, so we'll go to our caller now, pretty close to a start, race 8 at Bendigo, last leg of the quaddie.
Now the last one to go into line is Hunker Magic, and they'll be ready here. Race number 8 on the program. Nam Sing lines up. All inquiries the inside, and they're set at the 1400. Lights are blinking. Starter's got a good line, they're off and running now. Malachi Crunch got its head up at the jump away and missed it slightly. Full of Spirit and Just Sterling out in a hurry and landed in front from All Inquiries, followed by Zale, fourth from Cobra Colt. Further out, Hunker Magic, pushing forward when it's caught wide from Ascetic Ruler. Round the outside, Prince McCarter, he's back as Reaper Barn from Jet Express. Then came Brackenbury from Nunn Sing out very deep, and last of all, Malachi Crunch. Full of Spirit at the 1,000-metre mark, just in front. Prince McCarter takes it on and heads it now. Prince McCarter goes around the outside to lead by a half length. 2 Full of Spirit, 2 further back, Just Sterling third. Nub Singers 3 deep. On the fence, All Inquiries, 1.5 sail from Brackenbury. Out 3 wide, a length for the back, Ascetic Ruler. Then Reaper Barn back in the field, inclined to get his head up a little from Baby Bomber back in the middle. They're followed further back in the race now by Cobra Colt, then Jet Express and Malachi Crunch. At the 600-metre mark, Prince McCarter off the fence, a half in front from Full of Spirit, and Nub Singers up third on the outside of Just Sterling the middle, a length further back, All Inquiries, followed by Zale. Brackenbury out deep, Reaper Barn pull wide from Hunker Magic, Baby Bomber, and further back Cobra Colt from Ascetic Ruler try to get out. In the straight, 300 to go. Just Sterling races to Full of Spirit now from All Inquiries. 2 further back in the race, then came on the outside Num Sing. Brackenbury down the outside. Just Sterling reached the front at the 150. Brackenbury's the danger from Zale. Brackenbury moving up with Zale in the middle. Zale and Brackenbury. Zale got its head in front. Brackenbury coming at it again. Zale, Brackenbury a nose, I reckon, Zale. Third may go Malachi Crunch from Ascetic Ruler, Reaper Barn. Then further back, All Inquiries, followed by Just Sterling, who stopped to a walk. Cobra Colt is back behind those. Further back in the race, in the outside, Baby Bomber. Hunker Magic and Num Singer back behind those, pulling up. Just going out of view in company with Full of Spirit. Back there with it is Jet Express.
What was going to lose, it was going to win, and it was going to lose again, and in the end I think it's won. Number 2, Brackenbury, under his pretty big weight and from his wide barrier, he charges at them 100 metres out, looks set to win, but the locally trained Zale, who's a good horse on his day, that's Zale in the gold there with the maroon sash and the royal blue cap, goes with Brackenbury, seems to be holding Brackenbury, and right on the line, for one of the few occasions in his career, Brackenbury has toughed it out. And I think he may have got this photo, and he has. Number 2, Brackenbury has won this. There's Zale holding Brackenbury for the moment. Brackenbury giving him a kilo. And watch Brackenbury stretch that neck and pop it in front of Zales right on the line. He got him to pay $4.30 and he got him to run favoured, Brackenbury. $4.30 the win and $1.80 the place. That was his race. I think we've got the win out of him. I don't know whether we tail him now, but he's a consistent galloper. He's been out of his depth in recent runs. He had that wonderful form.
Tonight's harness racing at Moonee Valley celebrates the 50th anniversary of night trotting in Melbourne. We had the Priming Industry Board 50 Years of Night Trotting Cup, the Legends Race, a standing start race featuring wooden sulkies and old-fashioned gear, classic displays of memorabilia and on-course kids' entertainment. Celebrate a nostalgic trip down memory lane.
Everybody loves a Saturday night
At Moonee Valley.
For nearly 2 decades, the Jimmy Swaggart telecast has not wavered from its primary objective, to boldly proclaim salvation through Jesus Christ. The power of that message continues to change lives and give hope to millions around the world. This week, why don't you plan on tuning in to the uncompromised preaching of the Word of God on the Jimmy Swaggart telecast?
Channel 31 is located on the UHF band, broadcasting to all of Melbourne. If you're having trouble getting the picture and would like to know more about tuning to Channel 31 or improving your reception, send us a stamped self-addressed envelope and we'll send you a tuning booklet. Send for your free tuning booklet today to Channel 31, Post Office Box 12082, A Beckett Street Post Office, Melbourne 8006. Remember to include a stamped self-addressed envelope. Channel 31. We are Melbourne.
11 minutes of betting time to the last race on a card that's been a marvellous Bendigo Cup day. It's the last of 9. Thatching's Way is favourite and clearly so at $3.70. Some specking for Tycoon. It's into $8.40, so it's firmed virtually 1.5 points. Pipeline Miss has firmed half a point, but it's still at odds that are 12 to 1. Sworn to Secrecy is pretty steady around the $10 mark, as is 7 Burkham Stab. Scribbles is also firming. It's come in half a point, and Portrait of David. So Ross Flegeltorp and Omniflight too in that same bracket. It's either Thatching's Way or a batch of them, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty tough race to get out on, Keith, race 9 for the Class 2 horses. And yeah, I don't mind Tycoon here for John Marr. Nicely bred 4-year-old gelding who did break through. It was a good performance there to win at Terang. A little bit harder this time. Despite dropping 2 classes, it is a tougher field, but I thought each way at number 4, Tycoon.
Good on you, Ross. We'll get comments too from John Bell from the track soon. In the meantime, we're going back to Stawell and to Bob Kane, and his guest is Grant Campbell.
Thank you, Keith. Yes, ended up running favourite to Liberator and driven a treat by Grant Campbell. Jumped to the front and you didn't have to improve some.
No, he's going well. Bobby, he loves the standing starts, which is his big advantage. He just flies away, and once he's in front, he's a terrific racehorse. You can let him run along, which he did today, and he's just too good for him.
Yeah. And it was a case of the 10-year-olds running the Quinella, which is good.
Yeah, they seem to keep getting better as they get older, some of these horses. There are a lot of old horses going around at the minute and going well.
Some of these horses, they lose form, they jump back in the claimers, and they find a bit of form, don't they?
Yeah, well, I think he'd be competitive in anything that he's in, so long as it's a stand. He can come out of a mobile, but his old legs can't quite carry him throughout the race. But from a stand, he goes away good. He always lobs handy, and he's competitive in nearly anything.
And have you got any more drives today?
Yeah, I've got Jack Snow Joker in the next. He's drawn the second row from a stand. He's a bit risky from the stand, but if he goes away, he's going good. He's been trialling well. So.
And I said he trialled Bendigo last week, did he?
He did. He won a trial at Bendigo last week, running his last mile in 2-2, and he went away that day. So I'll have my fingers crossed. If we go away, we might be a chance.
Yeah, all right, mate. Thanks, Grant.
No worries.
Good luck,
thanks.
pal. Okay, Keith, Deliberator got the money and led all the way for Rick McIntosh.
Okay, thank you, Bob. I reckon that tie matches the hat border too, doesn't it?
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Colour coordinated. Okay, let's look at Bendigo race 9. Only 8 minutes of betting time. There's already $100,000 in the win pool and 62 in the place. So punters have really let go. And a reminder too that Channel 31 next Wednesday on our midweek at the races program. Yes, that's back to Wednesdays. We'll be covering the Ballarat Cup. So it's Ballarat's big 2 days. Unlike Bendigo, Ballarat have stuck with the tradition. having Cup Day on the Wednesday and the support day on the following day, the Thursday. Bendigo this year, this is the second year that they've had the Cup on the latter of the 2 days. And as Ross mentioned earlier, it's a public holiday in Bendigo today. Even the schools are closed. So the whole day is a holiday, and that has certainly helped the crowd be swollen, with families being able to attend at Bendigo today. And we've seen some of the massive crowd there on some of our scene shots. Let's look at this last race now. Number 3, Thatching's Way, is easing. It's out to 3.90, so it's getting out towards the 3-1 mark. And there's support for a batch of them here, Ross, isn't there? Omni Flight, Tycoon, the one you like, it's come in a couple of points. Pipeline Miss, it's firmed at point. Sworn to Secrecy in a little, as is number 7, Berkhamstad. 8, Champy, it's been around the 15-1 mark. Scribbles, it's at 9.50. A bit hard to read there. 11, Portrait of David, at $12.30. And that's about it, I think, Ross. So the value here is if you bet against the favourite, and because you're going to get, with the exception of Tycoon, virtually double figure odds.
Yeah, very tough race, Keith. Couple of horses like Thatching's Way, the favourite, is second up from 1,300 metres at Pakenham. That was back on the 20th of October, so going on a month, or 3 weeks at least since he went round, and he's second up to a mile. Does drop only a ½ kilo, is in the same grade, but $3.90, a little bit short for mine. Omniflight, he's a funny horse. He went up to 2,200 metres last start, struggled. He's back to 1,600 metres today, and that is the distance he won over at Moe in an ordinary type of race. It was a good, strong victory. Pipeline Miss, now she looked good winning at Geelong about 4 weeks ago, or 4 or 5 weeks ago actually, and it was run down right on the line at Ballarat, and her last 2 runs have been in town in pretty good mares grade, so Pipeline Miss you'd expect to improve. And Sworn to Secrecy was a good run last start there in a Class 5, so he's dropping back from a Class 5 to a Class 2, although going up in weight. It's a fair drop in class for this one, number 6, Sworn to Secrecy. Number 7, Berkhamstad. Now, I liked his win there at Benalla 2 runs back. He really stuck his nose out and got the money strongly there. It was only a short margin, but he showed a lot of courage and wasn't too far away at Seymour last start behind a pretty good mare in Lumpy's Princess. So beautifully bred, being by Sabille, Berkhamstad is in the race with a good each way chance.
Well, your top tip is Tycoon?
I'll stick with Tycoon, but the confidence is not sky high.
Well, here's something to restore it, because John Bell, who has a great strike rate of interviews, winning the race a few minutes later, has John Maher, trainer of Tycoon, with him. He's John and John.
Yeah, thanks very much, Keith. John's got 2 runners in this race with Tycoon and over the page. John, we have Lord Eminence, but Tycoon's the more fancied here. And John, interesting to see you've stuck with Marie Payne here. You've obviously rewarded her for riding the horse well and winning at Terang.
I think Marie rides well, John. She just doesn't ride for the main stables. I sent him to the country last start and he won pretty good and she rode him well, so why not?
Well, he steps up in grade today, or not. He goes from a Class 4 to a Class 2, but it's a tougher assignment here. How do you assess his chances?
Oh, this is a pretty mediocre race. There's no standouts in this race, I don't believe. He's got a good chance, John, because he's fit and he's held condition, and as I said, I'm sure she'll give him a good ride.
You think he's a good winning chance?
I don't think he's got a good chance. You can't beat winning form, even though it was in the country. I just think there's no standouts in this race. He's got a little bit of weight, but I think he's got some sort of a chance, because I'm confident she'll give him a nice chance in the race, and that's what he needs.
Okay, and you've also got Lord Eminence, number 12 in this event?
Well, we've kept him, hoping that he'd come good. He's a South Island bred horse. His first time in his life, he sort of started the whole condition, so I'm hoping he'll probably get back a little bit. I hope it's a true run race. If he gets back and runs on strong, I'll be quite happy. And after today, probably be better suited at 2,000. So, if Tycoon won and the other horse ran on pretty strong, well, I'd be quite satisfied with that.
Sure, you would be. How was the Flemington Carnival for you? Canny Anna was one of your good winners.
It's pretty tough going, but it is. It's the hardest week of the year to win. I think you've got any good horse in Australasia is taking part in a race there, and even from the UK now. So I was quite happy. Won 2 races, probably should have won 3. So you know, thank God for Small Mercies. They were two nice races.
And what about Sandown coming up on Saturday? Can you give us a leg up to anything there?
Well, I'll line Kenny Anna. She'll line up again in that Mercedes-Benz at 3-year-old fillies race, so she'd obviously be suited in that particular race. Hawksmoor's going pretty well. I thought he'd run well to that good horse, Basil Bay. Probably a bit stiff to run into that horse in that particular race this time of the year. However, he's back in his sort of own right race on Saturday, and you know, Wavertree I thought run well in the welter. With his 59.5, and I've kept him to the 1200 metre race on Saturday, so he'll be running on pretty strong game.
All right, John, thanks very much for the information, and good luck with your two runners in this race.
Thanks a lot, John.
John Marr there, the trainer of Tycoon and Lord Eminence, and well, he's given you a nice leg up there for Tycoon. I'll give you a quick run through of the betting here. Number 1, El Honor, is out to 5 times the each way, around the 20-1 mark. Number 2, Omni Flight, opened up at 2 times the each way, got to double figure odds. Firmed in 2 points then, but it's just in the last minute drifted a touch, so around a $10 chance with the bookies. Number 3, Fatching's Way, has gone for a bit of a bath with bookmakers. Opened up around $3.25 and now is $4.50, so a bit of a drift there. Tycoon, opened up at the each way quote, is now a 1.5 longer. Number 5, Pipeline Miss, at the double figure odds, has been steady throughout. Number 6, Sworn to Secrecy, is just touching the double each way, which is a drift of 1 point. Number 7, Berkhamsted, has drifted 2 points and is just about to hit double figures. Number 8, Champy, and 9, Makarov, are both 5 times the each way. Number 10, Scribbles, has been kept safe here, just into double figures with the bookies. Number 11, Portrait of David's been a drifter, opened at double figure odds and has drifted 4 points. Number 12, Lord Eminence, opened up at 5 times the each way, drifted 5 points, but just late in betting has firmed up that 5 points to be around a $21 chance, so he might be a sneaky trifecta chance, as John Marr's told us. And really, the other horses, 13, 14 and 15, are not in the market. So at this stage, we've got an easing favourite with Thatching's Way, but most of the runners have eased, bar number 2, Omni Flight, who has come in for a smidgen of support. Pipeline Miss has been steady throughout, but really punters are having a little bit of trouble here deciding whether to stick with the favourite Thatching's Way or look for a bit of value. I'm going to go for the value and select number 5, Pipeline Miss. Ran in a good class mares race over the carnival behind Robley Lass. Talak Toff came through that race and won here yesterday. She did show some good promise earlier on in this campaign. I'm prepared to give her one more chance. Think that the value's worth including. Dangers, Tycoon number 4. Number 2, Omni Flight, can get into the finish. But you've got to also consider 3, Fatching's Way. And I did like the way Berkhamsted, number 7, presented in the mounting yard. But I thought Pipeline Miss, with some luck from a wide gate, could get the money here at nice each way odds.
Good on you, John, and I agree with you. Pipeline Miss number 5 at $11.60 at the moment would be my top pick, ahead of number 2, Omni Flight. And Omni Flight's at $10.80, so we're looking at double figures for both of those, and they're very good value. That's number 14 on screen, and that's one of the roughies, if not the second longest price runner all this time, trained on the track by Bernie Love. It's an 88-to-1 shot, and this is the last of the 2-day carnival at Bendigo. It's been a most successful carnival. Success was in the planning with a pretty hard-working committee up there, and the success was enhanced also by the weather, just beautiful conditions. It hasn't rained on Bendigo Cup Day since 1974. Number 6 goes in now, and that is Berkhamsted, and number 11 just about completes the line. He's Portrait of David. He's our caller for the last.
Lights blinking away. I don't see where the problem lies here, but there's obviously one there. All clears there. Racing now. They've come away fairly well. Sworn to Secrecy all this time. Scribbles a little bit slow to go. Just Watch, Portrait of Davy Makarov, and also On the Flight away quickly. Pipeline Misses up there, but a little deep, and going through in the centre, Gems Planet from Alana Berkhamstad, and then Thatching's Way, 2 lengths to Tycoon, back with Scribbles all this time, Lord Eminence Champy, and Sworn to Secrecy last as they swing over towards the 1200 metre mark. And it's Just Watched by a length to Omni Flight, 3rd Gems Planet, 1.5 away, then Portrait of David. Inside it, Makarov, 2 to Alona, being shaded by Pipeline Miss on the outside, another 2 to Berkhamstad. A length away to Thatching's Way, Scribbles on the inside, 3 parts Tycoon, then well back Lord Eminence all this time. Sworn to Secrecy going up on the inside and dropping out last as Champy at the 800 metre mark, and the leader Just Watch by 2 lengths to Omni Flight and Gems Planet. 4th placing Portrait of David on the inside, Makarov, a length of Pipeline Miss ridden up. Alona coming away from the fence, behind those Berkhamstad, and then Thatching's Way on the inside of it as they head to the turn. Would have been Scribbles 2.5 further back, then Tycoon, Lord Eminence, Tycoon ridden up from all this time, Sworn to Secrecy and Champy on the turn, and Portrait of David and Omni Flight have gone up to join Just Watch, who's hard ridden. Makarov behind them, deeper out Alona, and then Pipeline Miss. Thatching's Way to the centre of the track, behind it Berkhamstad, and then well back comes at the head of the others would have been over on the inside of those Scribbles, making some ground, but Omni Flight booted away at the 200 metre mark. Thatching's Way is coming quickly after it, and down the outside is Tycoon running on strongly. Omni Flight grabbed by Thatching's Way. Tycoon on the outside. Thatching's Way took the lead. Tycoon driving at it, won't get there, and Thatching's Way wins by a half length of Tycoon. Omni Flight third, then Scribbles. Champy behind it was Portrait of David, Berkhamstad, Alona, Lord Eminence followed by Makarov all this time, Sworn to Secrecy. Just Watch was back at the tail of the field, and with it Pipeline Misses put in a shocker.
Well, I got out on tote betting, but it won Thatching's Way, the favourite. It will return $4 even and $1.90. Strong performance. And one of the first statements we made on this telecast today was that really a race day goes past without Peter Mertens riding a winner. He's aboard this winner, Thatching's Way. Watch for it in the predominantly pink colours, hot pink colours, storming home. There's a late charge put in by Tycoon, who looked a bit of a threat to Thatching's Way, but Tycoon couldn't sustain the hard finish. That's Tycoon there. This is Thatching's Way about to run past Omnicore on the fence. Thatching's Way quickly gets the better of Omnicore. Tycoon was storming home, but closer to the line we have Thatching's Way holding Tycoon, who gets up to run second and edge out Omnicore. So the numbers in the last will be 3, 4 and 2. Expect $4 and $1.90. For second, number 4 Tycoon, it's $2.10, and Omniflight, who was at very good value, will pay $3.30 the place. So pretty popular Quinella in the last. They're finished in 1-2 order of favouritism, and Omni Flight was about the 5th pick, so that trifecta was not all that hard to get. Personally, I would have preferred it in reverse order, Roscoe, Omni Flight. But there's the winner, Thatching's Way. Lightly raced, start number 10, win number 3 with 5 placings. So Robbie Griffiths, Cranbourne-based trainer, has done a very good job with Thatching's Way. As Ross pointed out, Thatching's Way had only had 1 start since June, and that was at Pakenham over 1,300 metres, so on the 20th of October. So some 3 weeks later, Thatching's Way was stepping up onto a good to 1,600 metres. There's the start. Thatching's Way started from barrier 3 and quickly got back in the field.
Yeah, you can see it in the white sleeves there, actually about 1 off the fence, running about 5th or 6th in the black blinkers. Omniflight is circled, he runs across to the lead. You
watch Omniflight gets skittled here. Gets a nice buffeting there, Omniflight. And Spike Short takes him away from...
Checks him off the heels of Just Watch, who was the one that rolled across him, and Omniflight then comes around and puts the pressure back on. But one also to watch if I'm not going to roll the tape on, but number 8 Champy for Barbara Marshman was last on the corner. We might pick that up. That's the grey in the yellow cap there, the outside. And he's last around the home corner and runs home strongly for 5th. This grey horse did the same thing at Hamilton last start. Instead of running 5th, though, he did win. So he's a horse that does get back and runs home strongly. And I don't think they went quite hard enough for him to get over the top of them. But he's a horse that's worth following. He's only had the 10 starts now for 2 wins and 1/3. And he did stretch out well in the straight to run 5th. But Omniflight a little bit unlucky. They did get a buffeting early, but had every chance after that.
Just watching the one they've highlighted here, Champy, Ross, he was a 20-1 chance, and he's still running... well, he's not in the picture.
He's out the back with Tycoon. Actually, Tycoon was hard ridden a fair way out. This Tycoon in the black and white striped sleeves. And he gets hooked out to the outside, and Champy goes through the middle in the yellow cap. And it's a little bit tight in there, but had to stop riding it there. The rider there was Luke Williams, and had to stop riding, pulls it to the outside, got its head on the side there, and disappears out of the picture again, while Tycoon has the momentum up and gets a couple of lengths in front of him. But no, he was beating a fair weight champie, but didn't have a great deal of luck, and did really get to the line quite strongly, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, Tycoon's a big horse, isn't he?
He is a big horse.
Dwarf's Omnicore, the third place getter. The trifecta's through at $180.10. The Quinella $11.50. The Exacta, well, they finished in order of favouritism, so that's paid very well at $25.40. The running double 2 and 3, $25.60. Well, the man who started off in a blaze of glory, tipping early winners right, left and centre, and sort of fizzed out a bit at the finish, but he's still been very helpful today. Johnny Bell's got a summary of the meeting. John, any guesstimate on the attendance today? It looked a massive crowd.
Yeah, well, Keith, they got about 19,000 here, which is a record for the Bendigo Club. So they're to be commended there on the promotion of the day. And, of course, the great weather we had today was fantastic. So they're very delighted to get 19,000 people here. And I can tell you there's still a lot of those people still here, and I think they'll go on for a couple of hours yet. But as you said, we started off in a blaze of glory and fizzled right out to a mere smoulder in the end. But I'll give you a run through of the SPs of the day. And we do have correct weight on the last event, as you can probably hear in the background. The opening event was, well, a nice plunge was landed here on number 7, Shatterton. 5-4 into 4-6, and quite a comprehensive win there. A horse that looks like it'll go on to better things. Defeated number 11, Dominant Lady, at 6-1, and number 5, Lavender and Lace, was third at 10-1. Moving on to race 2. Number 12, Star Grazer, was successful at 5-1, was 7-2 out to 5s. Defeated number 8, Paint the Scene, at 4-1, and number 15, Young Polly, was third at 15-1. The unplaced favourite there was Gold Deputy. I said Star Grazer was favourite, but I'm incorrect there. Star Grazer was 5-1. The unplaced favourite was Gold Deputy at 13-4. Moving on to race 3, Mars Roy, number 11, for Jim Houlihan, at 8-1. Defeated Baresi at 12-1, and I'm Looking Good was a disappointing favourite at 10-9. Appeared to have every chance, but just struggled from about the 1,000 onwards. Race 4, an impressive win by Cool Prince. Been favourite his last 2 starts today, 6-1. Scored very easily from number 5, Milady Lou, at 12-1, and number 4, Danzig's Pleasure, at 13-4. She should go to a fillies race now, Danzig's Pleasure, and win without too much concern. The favourite was our Catalina, who was well supported into 3-1 favourite, but unplaced, ran 5th. Race 5. Number 5, Export Measure, was successful at 12-1, defeated Travel Lot at 5-1, and I'm just having a bit of trouble reading the writing here, but you can probably see it on your screen, and it was 33-1. The unplaced favourite was Alarock, was even money out to 10-9, didn't have a lot of luck, so forgive Alarock, probably there is another race in store for him very soon. The Bendigo Cup was won by number 13, Napier Street. His third attempt at the race, successful at 25-1. And I think in his previous 2 runs he'd been in the Cup, he'd been 25-1 as well. Scored from number 3, My Sartorial. Good effort, had every conceivable chance at 4-1. And number 6, Northern Embossing, was third at 12-1. The Sydney Sider, number 4, Star Covert, was backed into favouritism. Was about 9-2 into 7-2 and ran 6th. Race 7, another impressive winner on the day was the Crushing Plant. 6-4 out to 5-2, but started favourite at that quote. Defeated Nautica, who was 8 into 13-2, and third was 11 Clobo at 66-1. Race 8, an overdue win for Brackenbury. He ended up starting favourite at 7-2, scored by a narrow margin from number 4 Zale at 16-1. And Malachi Crunch was third at 10-1, and Malachi's certainly getting close to winning a race. The final event for the day, Thatching's Way, drifted in the market, 9-4 to 7-2. That was snapped up late and came into 13-4, but did start favourite at that quote. Tycoon worked home well at 11-2, and Omniflight was 10s into 8s. Looked the winner for a couple of strides before being run over by the first 2, but a good effort there for Jim Houlihan. Well, that wraps up our coverage from Bendigo today. The Cup, an upset win, but you certainly couldn't begrudge Napier Street winning today's Bendigo Cup. At his third attempt, his previous 2 runs, he'd run 5th and 4th, so he'd been around the money. Great result for Mark Houlihan to, well, really emerge from the shadow of his father to win today's Bendigo Cup. with a good gutsy horse. He's been around a while now. He's had 60 starts, so you know, he's paid his way. He's won 300,000 now, so he's been a very good horse for him. Won the Tasmanian Derby. He's a 3-year-old. My Sartorial ran second. A nice even effort. I think he's going to the Eclipse Stakes now at Caulfield on Saturday week, and that'll be a nice suitable race for him. Northern Embossing will probably head in that direction, or maybe go up to Ballarat for the Cup up there, but he is also very close to a win. But an action-packed day. Hope we found you a winner at some stage during the day. I'm tipping it wasn't late in the day, but if you pulled up stumps early, you might have ended up in front. From Bendigo, I wish you very well.
Good on you, John. Thanks very much. We do appreciate John Bell's hard-working efforts and the news that he brings us from the track and the interviews. And for the early part of the day, we appreciated his tips too. I suppose mixed bag on the day. I mean, the Cup ironed everyone out, and a couple of other races.
Yeah,
the
sure.
short priorities went down, so you'd have to give the bookies the more rounds than the punters.
Yeah, they got a hammering early with Shatterton winning race 1, but apart from that, Brackenbury, a little bit of money for him, but a couple of nice odds winners getting up there, so I think it was about even Stevens on the day.
Okay, well, if you're behind at this stage, don't leave us. We've got 2 opportunities to get out. The divisions of the Get Out Stakes from Stawell. The next race is only about 7 minutes away, and the last at 5:40, and we'll be covering both for you. Let's go to Stawell now with his pre-race comments. Here's Bob Kane.
Thank you, Keith. Yes, the second last and the last leg of the quaddie, people will be trying to get out. Favourite at the moment is number 2, Smooth Eagle, to be driven by Gavin Lang. There wasn't much in the betting ring between it and number 8, Supreme Again. My selection is number 13, The Abbot, and with me is the trainer, Peter Tonkin.
How you going?
Good, Pete. He's been racing consistently his last couple of runs. How do you think he'll go today?
Yeah, I think he'll go real good. You know, he's been racing with no luck at all. It was a good run off 20 metres at Ballarat, and it was a good run last start at Oyen. You know, I expect him to go pretty good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a good friend of mine bred this. Does he still own it, Father Brian Glasheen?
Yes, Brian, he still owns it with Finn O'Connor and Dennis Lennox, and you know, he's right into the trotting.
Oh, he's right into the trotting, all right. I see him every Kilmore Cup day. He comes and has a feed at my place. And he's got the Abbot, and out of that mare, she's been a good mare for him, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been a terrific mare, you know, been a terrific mare.
Yeah. And how many are you working at the moment?
Working about 8. You know, we're just sort of looking for a few more if any horses are around there.
And you're down at Portland, don't you?
Yeah, we're down at Portland and down on the beach, and got all the facilities that you need.
Right, and you've had some good horses over the years. What's the best one you've had?
I would say Justin Jr. would be the best one of them I've had. He was a very smart horse. He beat Elmetta Boy the last start, and then I lost him, but he was a very good horse.
Right. And as you say, you're looking for some more horses, preferably good 2-year-olds or good young'uns.
Yes, anything that shows anything we're looking for.
Well, good luck, Pete, in this last leg of the quaddie. Number 13, that's my selection, Keith. Number 13, The Abbot.
Okay, good luck for you, Bob. Bob, if you had it running in the quaddie, you'd get a nice dividend because they're all pretty generous, Ross, aren't they?
They're very generous, Keith. The quaddie so far for 9, Speedo George, 4, Orlando Toff, and 5, Deliberator. With number 1, that is Jesse's Knight and
Jesse's Knight's out, so it's Count de Beers only.
Count de Beers by itself, sorry, 17,421. For number 2, Smooth Eagle and Keystone's Law at 3,167. The favoured way in the